Hi, Randy here. See, I just wanted to give you parents a little bit of a video to kind of let you know some of the things that are going on around the team right now and around the state, and maybe help answer a few questions you might have. First, in terms of the JV, the boys continue to struggle to win a game, although they've done some pretty neat things and played some pretty good soccer. We just need to get that final finishing part put together, and hopefully we'll have a chance here to win a couple games there here toward the end of the season. As far as the varsity go, I thought it was kind of funny and got a couple emails on this actually over the weekend, and going to Pierre and beating Pierre 3-2, the high-ranked team, and then losing a spot in the standings, and that's kind of an anomaly, I believe, because some of the teams are heading into the hardest part of their season, and I think that we have actually an end of our season where we can win all three of our remaining games and maybe even go in as high as 6th or even 5th, depending on what happens in some of these teams. So right now we're the only thing we can do is do our job, and that's to win soccer games. So we have Spearfish coming up Thursday night. That game is going to have a lot of meaning because we can see a big swing in results right there from one game head to head. Washington are playing a couple tough games and should probably lose 2, maybe their last 3 games actually. Spearfish are coming up on a real tough weekend, and they have 5 games left. They have us Thursday, and then they have to travel to Pierre to play Pierre on Saturday. And then they have Central next week, and then they finish up with Lincoln and O'Gorman, both at home, both very tough teams, as we all know. So that could really change Spearfish's fate a great deal. So all we can do is do our job, and that's win the games, and the schedule is going to fall where it may. I sure hope the guys that come through, they've been working so hard. I really do believe that they deserve to go to state, and I think if we go there, I think we'll show very well. Actually, that's one thing I want to talk about. They're really starting to click, and we're finally starting to score goals when we get chances, and that's very encouraging. I wanted also to touch a little bit on playing time, because we've had a couple scenarios where we didn't get players into the game for as many minutes as they might have liked. And I would just want to share this from a coaching perspective, that as a team goal is to go to state and to perform well there. One of my responsibilities, and it's probably the most uncomfortable responsibility of all, is picking who's going to get us there. And there's a lot of issues that we look at when I'm choosing a player to play. The number one thing that I have to look at is how comfortable I feel with that player on the field. And if I'm taking a player off and putting a player on who's going to make us not look as good, that's extremely hard to do. Against Pierre Saturday, they got pretty dangerous on us, and we'd made some changes, and all of a sudden the game got in our end, and I couldn't let the game take place in our end, so I had to make some changes. And that, as a coach, that's just some of the things that you have to do, regardless of if the player's happy, and in particularly regardless of if the parents are happy. And my job is not to make parents happy, and it's really not to make players happy. My job is to help the team, to the best of my ability, win the game. So in the competitive environment, that's kind of how the thing works, and I hope that you can understand. But please know that if you don't, well, there hopefully will be some sort of a scenario where you can learn to understand, or maybe I can learn to understand better if I'm not getting it. But over the years, that's kind of what I've had to come down to. So we're going to do everything we can to get players as many minutes as we can between now and the end of this season. But the reality is that as long as we have a fighting chance to get into that state tournament, I have to have my best 11, or at least the 11 guys on the field that I have the most confidence in. And it doesn't come down to anything but how they impact our team and what kind of effectiveness each player has. So I wanted you to know that, because I know I didn't have time to visit with each of you about that, but that is that is the prevailing mentality here. So, and it's going to remain that way as long as I'm the coach at Stevens. By the way, the High School Activities Association is talking now about bringing in soccer here year after next and having a 3-year phase-in. We don't know all the details, but looks like they might be finally getting that accomplished, so I guess we'll see what happens there. And finally, you probably read or heard that Mitchell has won the rights to host the state soccer tournament the next 2 years. So we won't be going quite as far, and hopefully we'll be a little bit better hosted than Aberdeen and Brookings have been able to do in the past. So just wanted to give you this little update, and thank you for supporting your player, for supporting the Raiders soccer. It's been kind of an interesting season, but I feel really good about how the guys right now are beginning to really achieve their potential. And I think we're just going to continue to improve here over the next 2 or 3 weeks and really go to Aberdeen and put on a show for them there. At least that's my hope. So thanks very much, and we look forward to seeing you out on the pitch.